How's it going? Welcome back to Motivated Masculine Men podcast. And today I just want to talk about how confidence can get you so much further. And men, we need to be confident. As a confident man, you're going to get more women. You're going to, improve that relationship. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to feel more like a man with confidence. Now, how do we build confidence? How do we create confidence as a man? And this is a really interesting topic, an interesting thought. And I'm sure one of my guests and I will eventually talk about confidence. But for me, I've always been a very confident guy. I've had women tell me, too bad you're married. You're so confident. You're so amazing. And, yes, that's a good ego boost on my behalf. But at the same time, I don't do it for that. I'm just naturally confident. Now, why am I naturally confident? Confidence comes from repetition. Confidence comes from just going for it and just owning it. And also belief. It comes down to that focus, that belief, that language that you use behind yourself. And it's the three things that I talk about all the time: the physiology, the language, the focus. Where you focus, you get. So if you can relate yourself to a past task, a past situation where you won, where you were dominating, where you were the man, you're instantly going to have more confidence. Let's talk about fitness for a second. I'm a huge fitness guy. In fact, I'm gonna be put my hand up and say at the moment I'm pretty slack. I'm slacking a little bit there, and I'm getting back into it. I'm eating really healthy. I'm really quite lean, but just getting into the gym has been a challenge. But how do I make sure that I'm confident when I go back into the gym? Well, I use that repetition, and I can use that same thing when I go to ask my wife for something or go for a job interview. Hey, I've done all these hard, challenging things in the gym. Talking to somebody is not going to be that difficult. Now, if you challenge, you feel like it's a challenge to talk to people, to, do an interview, practice. Practice talking to people. Go to your significant other, go to your friends and talk to them. Have them role play with you. If you're going on a date and you're nervous about the date and you're nervous about talking to another woman, you're nervous about talking to this woman that you're going on this date with, practice with your friends. Grab one of your female friends and be like, "Hey, I'm nervous about this." Grab one of your really good friends. That brother that we've talked about on a previous episode, that 3 a.m. brother. Grab him. Be like, "Bro, I need you to challenge me. I need you to be that dickhead and actually challenge me as if you're a female. I want you to tap into your inner feminine female, and role play, because at the end of the day, if you can role play those, you're going to have repetitions. And if you have repetitions, then it's not going to feel out of the ordinary. It's not going to feel weird. Relate to something that you are good at. Think about that thing. And then when you're in those challenging moments and you're feeling like you don't have that confidence, tap into that. Be like, I did that. I did that weightlifting. I did that date, a couple years ago or last month, or even maybe it was yesterday. I succeeded in that deal at work. I pulled off this project, and it's all through repetition. And you just relate to that. You relate to, oh my God, I did that. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? I know I can because I've done it before. I've done something hard before. That's how you tap into that confidence. That's how you really go into it. And at worst, I guarantee you have that one male friend. I guarantee you have that guy who you're just like, far out. This guy is so fucking confident all the time. He feels like I feel like he could accomplish anything and steal some of his confidence, because trust me, I guarantee he has enough of it to go around. And, it can sometimes come off as, confidence can sometimes be, if people can think it's arrogance. Now, there's a difference between arrogance and confidence. Confidence is you don't have to showboat it all the time. You sometimes might, and you tap into that ego side, but as more importantly, you just know you can. And people around you can feel that. And again, that comes from repetition. There's a reason that, again, I'll use fitness because it is a huge thing and I've done so much with it. When I think about running a half marathon, I go, "Oh yeah, sweet, I could do that. I could probably do it tomorrow. It's gonna hurt. I don't run very much these days, but it's gonna hurt, but I could do it because I've done it before." For example, work-wise, going for a job, interviews, I would say I used to not be so good at. Especially back in my law enforcement days, I was not so great at interviews until I practiced them. And I did a lot. I remember doing protection services. I applied 5 times to go full-time protection services and get out of the residential side of things. 5 times. And the fifth time applying for it, to the same bosses, to the same panel, I didn't get any feedback really from them and just from other teammates. The fifth time, as I was walked out, the boss walked me out and whispered to me, "Well done. You nailed it." Now, I still didn't know if I got the job. I didn't know if I did better than anybody else, but just that was like, oh my God. And now when I go into interviews, I just really tap into the things that I'm good at. You think about the things that you're good at, you prep for it. Preparation is key for anything. It's how you stay alive. That's how you succeed at anything is preparation. And now you just talk about the things that you're good at. When they ask you a question, you think about something that you did that's good that you can relate, that you're confident in, that you know that you did well at. And you just relate it out to the interviewer. Sorry. That's how you really tap into that confidence. And when it comes to being a masculine man, some of the most, I guarantee some of the guys that you think are the most masculine men, and it is because you see so much confidence from them. I know I do. I know I constantly look at men and go, holy crap, that is like, I want to be his friend. I want to be around him. It's because he's got confidence in what he's talking about, what he's doing, his actions. And figure out what you are good at and what you like because you'll be more confident in it. And do more of it. Do what you're good at and keep tapping into that. Keep building it. Yes, practice on some of the things that you're not good at that you need to be able to grow and develop in the direction that you want. But most importantly, just get really, really fucking good at what you're good at and what you enjoy. I enjoy talking to people. That's why I do podcasts. That's why I'm good in sales. That's why I was a great cop because I'm good at talking to people and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy meeting new people, hearing their story, hear what's going on, giving my input, helping them grow, having them tell me that I'm an idiot on things that I can grow. And this is why it's so important. This is how you build confidence. And that's the end of my drink. So this will be the end of this episode. Thank you for listening. It was a really quick, short one, but hopefully you grab something from that. Literally, please do drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think of what I've said. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me, no, Chris, that's not how you get confidence. And then tell me how. I'd love to have you on. Let's debate it. Let's talk about it. Or if you love it, cool. Tell me why you love it. Tell me a story about how you actually how you actually implemented it. Because this is what we're here. We are here to help each other, men. We're not individuals. Men need men. So let's hold each other. Let's help each other. Let's keep going. And you remember, my motto has always been and will always be train hard, test easy, both physically, mentally, and that's how we grow. Anyways, till next time. Talk soon. Stay hard, as Goggins would say.